The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go, Talkin' Buds Leaf Show, episode 334. What do you think of my new chair? Oh, I didn't even notice. It looks like I'm captain of the Enterprise sitting in this thing.
You cheap out on that one?
No, I got it for Christmas as a Christmas present, and every other chair I've had down here, I have cheaped out on. And this time around, the wife said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "Well, I'm 37. I have chronic back pain.
Oh, yeah.
It probably has something to do with the garbage chairs that I sit in all the time, and I end up leaning. Like when I'm like working or something, this is literally me."
That's just bad shoulders, man.
Yes, let's just get a chair.
Support. That's a lumbar
let's just get it.
Support on that.
Oh,
thing.
dude, it's nice. It's nice. Like this is. Yeah. She didn't cheap out on this.
That's where I get in
good.
trouble. I get up, my back starts fucking killing me because the lumbar support's lacking.
Yeah, no, you need this. The lumbar support is the real deal on this one.
Yeah.
You have been dying for an episode like this because I don't think we're going to have one negative thing to say on today's episode. And that we have not done. I don't think we've done one episode so far this season where like we've had positive conversations, but there's always like, yeah, but I don't think there's going to be a yeah, but today.
I can think of a minor but we can get into that later.
No, let's do the yeah, but now.
Well, it's just too much of a wholesome conversation. Like I like my yeah, but is like, hey, they played extremely well last night. Everything's great, but like they're still not in the best position. You know, like it's like, okay, we're all excited. Everyone loves everybody today. And I'm happy about that because I can only do the Auston Matthews leadership conversation so many times a year before I want to slam my head against the wall.
Well, but guess what, buddy? That conversation is about to take a turn in a different direction, in my opinion.
But it's great how everyone played last night. Awesome game. One of their best games of the year for sure. It's twice they've kicked that team's ass. Anytime you can beat that team. Let me give Gary Bettman some props here, okay? Everyone always whines about go back to the 1-8 matchup. Yet, if you check the standings every year, it would be the exact same as the division
it's not that different.
Matchups. Maybe the 2-3 matchups would flip, but one would play 8, 2 would play 7, and usually it's kind of similar. So that's just a stupid argument to me. I never understood that. But I gotta give him credit that I'm totally bought in on divisional games. Like when they play Florida, when they play Tampa Bay, when they play Montreal, when they play Boston, like the only team in the division that they play where I'm kind of like, nah, is Buffalo and Detroit, maybe.
And they're getting better, so that could change.
Get amped up when they play Tampa or when they play Florida, and that's because of the history and the amount of times they played each other. I don't care if wanted an easier path to the final, whatever. They could have won a bunch of those series, but I'm bought in on the divisional matchups. I love them. They have a different feel. I'm way more excited for them. I put my opinion hat to the side. I put my fan hat on every single time they play one of those teams.
So it feels like since coming out of the Christmas break, they're playing better. I don't want to say they've turned a corner because they do have some losses in there, like the Islander game that should have been a win and it wasn't. But they're playing better. If you were going to point to one thing right now that you see that is different from the absolute fucking torturous slog that was October, November watching this group and the beginning of December, quite frankly, what would it be?
I'm going to give the most coach speak answer of all time here. It's just work.
Work ethic.
Literally just work. To me, it just comes down. It's as simple as that. They were just doing a whole lot of watching, a whole lot of nothing, never getting to a hard area, never getting to the puck first. And since they fired their assistant coach, all of a sudden they're getting to pucks
Do you think
first.
that made a difference? Do you think that made a difference? I've heard some guys on the radio say that.
It's hard to speculate.
No, but just give your opinion. Like I've heard some guys on the radio say, it might have been Savvy got let go and it was a wake up call. And I'm kind of like, maybe that was it.
I think it's human being dependent.
Okay.
If me and Savvy were just kind of like whatever, then like I'd understand that it's the NHL and it's a business and this is going to happen a lot. Or usually an assistant coach getting fired midseason is kind of weird, but like coaches are going to interchange. You're going to have plenty of different coaches throughout your career for the average player. But if you're someone who was boys with Savvy and you got along with him and whatever, then I could see it affecting you because you're like, okay, we're playing like absolute shit and this guy just got canned for it. So yeah, I guess if you're that type of human being, then it would affect you. So, but it's hard to really, there's no hard concrete evidence that can support that. So it's kind of hard to
Willie didn't seem too rattled. Willie did not seem too rattled that Savvy got let go. So, and the power play does look a lot different since Savvy got let go. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't think anyone looks at this and goes, oh, it was Savvy's fault. But I think the stagnation of the power play and just the refusal to change up personnel.
Yeah.
Like what I'm going to say for me that's different is I think obviously we talk about the key guys. So Matthews has turned it on. Nyes had a great game. Johnny is solid. He's not as good as he looked at the beginning of the season, but he's solid. But the other guys, Matias Maccelli, a guy that I have been really hard on and didn't like as a hockey player, quite frankly, for the first few months of the season, looks like a completely different guy since coming out of the press box. He looks like he's not, at the beginning of the season, he just went out there and kind of was a guy out there. And now he's a lot more. Two of the goals against Florida were him and Nyes hard on the forecheck. His passing ability is elite. Like the dude is an elite passer. That is by far the best part of his game.
Especially on the power play.
Yeah. So, and again, to my point, that's a personnel switch. They moved him up there and said, this guy's a really good puck distributor. Let's have him on the power play. Bobby McMahon. I don't know what more you can say about Bobby McMahon.
What did I say at the start of the season? What did I say at the start of the season?
For them.
He's arguably the most important piece on this team.
Yes.
In terms of putting the whole in terms of putting the puzzle together, he is arguably the most important player.
Yes. And my take of him excelling in a bottom six role is getting, like I said, freezing cold takes is going to pick that up at any point because this guy, it's not just that he's playing well with Matthews. He's in on scrums. He's taking runs at guys. He's sticking up for his teammates, which is something we have not seen a lot of from this Leaf team. It's those sort of intangible elements that he's brought to his game and brought to that top line. I actually think that his energy has kind of woke Matthews up a little bit. And same with Max. Like Max is a complete liability defensively, but he plays well with Matthews. Max Domi's entire career as a Leaf, the only time he has looked really good is when he has been on Auston Matthews' wing. Yeah. Period. The only time.
Mm-hmm.
The third line. Yeah. The tic-tac-toe third line goal against the Florida Panthers. Easton Cowan and Nick Robertson settling in nicely on the wings between Nick Roy. We talked about Nick Robertson last episode. This dude has completely flipped the script on you and I for years. We're like, I don't know about this guy. He's small. He's not. Is there a place for him? This dude sign him to an extension. Do it.
Yeah.
Like he's a valuable piece right now.
But it's just funny how all this is happening at the same time. Like it's the reason why Maccelli comes back in and looks better is because everyone else looks better. It's not like Maccelli's come in, the team stinks, but he's playing unreal. It's just every single person is playing better and working harder. It's just a whole team shift.
Yes. And your goaltending has been stabilized. I thought the D was pretty good in the win against Florida, but Jake McCabe is hurt now. Like, dude, the injuries that they have had on their back end this year are insane. Yeah. Insane. Mm-hmm. Like, every team deals with injuries. It's not an excuse, but like, you got to look at the man games that blue line has lost. Like, it's no joke, man. It's no joke.
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience all of them with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL.
Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State.
New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. The thing that I'm really intrigued about is, when does William Nylander come back? Where does he play and how do they look? Because, not to start up rumors and drama for the sake of it here, because we don't have a ton of news items to discuss on this episode, but you and I have talked a lot about the rumors that have gone around for years about how he and 34, aren't necessarily boys. And Willie's out of the lineup. Matthews is cooking. All four lines look really good. Their personnel is kind of in the right place. And I just think if Willie comes back and they don't look good, it's not going to be good. We touched on this last episode. Like, I think there's a ton of pressure on William Nylander because the effort is what you pointed out at the top of this episode and what we've noticed lately. In on the forecheck. Their PK is excellent right now. And it's like, one thing we know about Willie is he can score a goal and he can look super dynamic in the O zone, but he looks pretty uninterested 99% of the time in the D zone. And I think if he comes back and the overall play of the team is noticeably different, that narrative's going to start. So when you were talking about Auston Matthews as a leader, and I said, I think it's going to go in a different direction, this is what I'm talking about. I think it's this team is these two guys. Like, we can talk about Tavares, we can talk about Riley. This team is going to go as far as Matthews and Nylander want to take them.
See, I think that's why they're doing so well right now, because it's not about Matthews and Nylander. It's not. Like that to me,
dude. It's
like
about
that's the problem.
It's about Matthews.
That's the problem with this whole era. It's just like, it's about these guys and no one else. Fuck everybody else. It's like, no, Matthews was rotating shifts last night. He wasn't on the ice all night. There was four lines going. Everyone contributing. Like that's why they're going so well right now. Like, I'm sick of this whole like obviously when Auston Matthews is scoring goals, it puts everybody in their place. It makes everybody look better, which is also a factor of why they're playing better. But
yes,
like I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm at with this Nylander thing, because I get what you're saying. Like, if he comes back and they all look like shit and he looks useless, it's not going to look great. But
yeah,
why is first of all, this guy's their best scorer by a mile. Like, there's no downside of bringing him back in the lineup. I like Matias Maccelli. Okay, I think he's playing well, but let's calm down for a second here. Okay, like, if Matias Maccelli leaves the lineup, I'm not going to be too heartbroken.
I know, but I think the issue for the first two and a half,
Nick Waugh get affected by William Nylander coming back. Like, it's just, to me, they got something good going on right here. Willie's watching it from the press box. As much as Willie's nonchalant. He's not an idiot. Do you think he's watching this up there right now and be like, I can't wait to come back and play like shit and ruin everything? Like, no. If the team is doing well and he's up there watching it, and I do believe this break, it's a well-needed break for him. As I said last episode, he's played pretty much every game for the past 3 years. If you're up there, he's a smart guy. I don't think he's dumb.
Well, except for when he had a
whatever.
That's the Boston series, but was okay enough to let cameras into the his apartment and hang out with friends.
But I think the fact that
that's
they're
neither
doing
here nor there.
Yeah, I think the fact that they're doing well and he's watching it, I don't think he's going to come back and just like stick a pin in it, you know?
No, but it's not that he's going to come back and stick a pin in it, Ryan. It's the issue with the top guys has been the ego and the vibe. And Willie, dude, I'm sorry, you can't convince me of this. This guy was in full-blown sulk mode before he got hurt and was not playing his hardest out there. Now, he might have had an injury that was affecting him. We don't know. But I'm sorry. Like, he was in full-blown sulk mode before this happened. And since Savvy got fired, they've sort of shed that and decided to get their shit together. And the video last night after the game of Berube in the dressing room being like, we're climbing up, we're on the way. Like, they know how far out of it they are. Because, yes, you look at the standings and you're like, oh, well, they're only a few points out of a playoff spot. It's like, right, but all these teams get points every night because there's 3-point games. So the only way to get back into it is to pull a Buffalo Sabres and go on like a 10-game heater.
Mm-hmm.
So they know. And it's just, I think the vibe, I guess the point I'm trying to make is the vibe in the dressing room seems to be really good right now. They seem to be bought in on what they need to do more than they were. And Willie needs to come back and be a part of that. He can't come back and do the thing where he looks uninterested in defensive zone play.
I just want to give Willie a little more credit. You know, like I just
I'm
not going to lump. I just don't want to lump him in as some guy who's just going to come in and just Willie walks in the room and all of a sudden everyone's down because he's being a little lazy. Like, no, like there was a lot of like, do you think Brett Hull used to go around and skate hard and back check and whatever? But no, like as long this guy is 41 points. Like,
I want to get to know ya.
This guy's 41 points in 33 games. Like, I think the only conversation I will entertain is I do think Michelli's better passing the puck on the power play than he is. Like, I think when the puck gets on his stick on the power play, Willie, I'm talking about here, it kind of dies. Mm-hmm. That's one conversation I'm willing to have. But in terms of, like, I'm not worried about their best point getter coming back and just messing everything up. Like, that's going to be a collective thing. Like, Willie doesn't control everything. You know? Like, don't come back and be a sulk baby. But Willie's pretty predictable character. Like, he's never going to be the guy that everyone wants him to be, or neither is Matthews, but he's going to come back. He's going to get points. He's still a game breaker. He's an elite guy. They need him on 3-on-3 overtime. Saw that against the Islanders. This team's useless in overtime without him. So I'm just going to give Willie some credit. I think he's going to come back. He's going to be just fine.
What'd you think of Brandon Carlo?
Didn't know
in his first game back, which is that's not a bad thing for a defenseman.
I saw him chip a puck out.
You noticed him a lot at the start of the year.
Yeah, I saw him chip a puck out in the first period. I saw him move a guy out in front of the net in one of the later periods. I never saw him again.
The injury had sounded fucking gnarly. He had like a plate in his ankle that got infected. Yeah, like yikes.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to like. You kind of got to cut these guys a break sometimes with the.
You
know, because it's hard because it's the best abilities, availability, and you want them to fight through it. But sometimes you just have a weird little nasty thing going on in your body, and none of us know about it. We don't know what it feels like. It could be absolute brutal pain.
And like we as fans at the beginning of the season are like, this guy stinks. You see what Treliving gave up for him? What the fuck? What a disaster. Handicap the franchise. Look at how good Fraser Minton looks in the Bruins uniform. He does look really good. But my God.
Yeah.
On the topic of the best ability is availability, I'm fascinated by what's going to happen with the goaltending. Because I think they've settled into a nice kind of 1-2 here with Wall and Dennis. And I think the Stolarz storyline is really fascinating because of what happened earlier in the year where he called out his teammates, specifically Willie. That clearly pissed people off. He was never the same after that. The dude has literally disappeared for weeks. Finally on the ice working out again. We have no clue what his injury is. And he's going to come back and he's going to take Dennis's spot. And if he comes in and looks the way he looks at the beginning of the season, people are going to be like, you got to get this guy out of here and you got to get Dennis back, which having 3 viable NHL goalies is not a bad problem.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating because you're like, where does this all fit?
Yeah. This is a problem where they've had some problems with players in the past where like they had to get ahead of it. Like they should have got ahead of the Mitch Marner thing. They should have got ahead of some other contracts, whatever. This is a problem if I'm the GM where I'm just going to worry about it when it comes. I'm not going to sit and fret about this at all. We have 3 goalies that we really like, and that is extremely rare in this organizational history or even across the league. So I am just going to deal with that when it appears. I'm not thinking about it right now. I don't care. I'm going to slowly nurse. What I would do, I would just slowly nurse Stolarz along until maybe Waller Hill to have an injury or something, and then I get him going. But I'm just...
One thing we know about Joe
We'll figure it out another day, man.
If he remains healthy for the remainder of the season, that will be a surprise. That's one thing we know about Joe Wall. So
but,
you're
like,
right.
Let's just say what we're like. Everyone like right now, Stolarz is like number 3 on the depth chart.
Yes,
because
Dennis is available and he's playing well.
I really like Joe Wall. I think Joe Wall is a very solid goaltender. Is he Bobrovsky? No, but I think he's a very good goalie that you can win with. Dennis Hildeby gets you excited because he's played extremely well. He's huge and he's 23 years old.
Yep.
And they signed him to a pretty team-friendly contract. He's not going anywhere. And then Stolarz, we saw what Stolarz was their best goalie in the playoffs last year.
Yes.
Like, do they win that series if Stolarz is in the net? I don't know, but he was definitely their best goalie at the time. So
yeah,
it's a tricky situation. But in terms of Hildeby's age and just Wall's age, and those are 2 guys you developed, and Stolarz is kind of weird. He's definitely number 3 on the chart right now.
We're not going to take up too much more time today, kind of a shorter one, but I wanted to touch on this before we get out of here, which is I thought the little video package before the game of all the different great Leaf goal scorers, capped off by Mats coming out and presenting Auston with the plaque, was outstanding. And that is... I'm such a sucker for that type of thing because I've been a fan of this team literally since I opened my eyes. And I just I don't know, man. I am such a sucker for my favorite Leaf of all time is Dougie. But I am such a sucker for that era, the early 2000s era with Mats. And I don't know, Mats Sundin just has such
this guy has aura for days. Yeah, he could teach a class on just does anyone have anything bad to say about that guy?
No, and he just you see, there's a guy, if you look at the guys they had, they did not have a bunch of random dudes. They had elite. They had Gary Roberts. They had Joe Nieuwendyk. They had Shane Corson. They had Darcy Tucker. They had Brian Leach. They had Ed Belfour. They had Curtis Joseph. They had all these great NHL players. And who was the captain leading the way for all these guys? Mats. You know another thing I think about Mats that helps maintain his aura? He's not as exposed as you see Wendell all the time. You see Daryl Sittler all the time. You don't see Dougie as much, but he's still around. He still lives in the area. You see Darcy and Ty all the time. You see that? Mats is chilling in Stockholm. And then he comes over when every now and then, and he just walks onto the ice. I'll never forget 2 years ago when they played those games in Sweden and they posted the video clip of him coming in to announce the lineup. And it's I'd follow this guy into battle right now. And just all is great. I got kind of fired up. So I watched the highlight of his OT goal against the Sens.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Cole's call on that. Oh, God. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
That's what made it. Honestly, Bob Cole's what made it so good too. It's so
memorable.
I
miss him.
Yeah,
I miss him.
I miss him. That's what made it so memorable too. Well, honestly, it's a good lesson for any celebrity of any kind. Overexposure, is death.
Yes,
death.
But yes, the aura on Mats is
he's standing beside Matthews too, and he's taller than him. It's like, this guy's
Yeah,
a monster.
I know.
Like, this guy's
I know.
still a monster.
And Simpson and Cuthbert pointed out that when they traded for him, it was controversial because they traded Wendell to the Nordiques for Mats. And you know how everybody feels about Wendell. And it was, oh my God, you're trading Wendell Clark. And it's like they literally brought in a guy who you could make a case is the greatest captain in Toronto Maple Leaf history. You could make that case.
And then they just brought Wendell right back. And
then they just brought Wendell back.
They just brought Wendell back.
Yeah.
It was actually a really good trade if you look back on it. It's actually an excellent trade.
Yes. You could absolutely make that case.
Yeah.
So, I just want to touch on that and how much I love that stuff. And I know, like, people joke, and you and I joke about how all these legends and none of them won any cups, and all that's true. But, man, I don't know. I love seeing those old Leafs, man. It makes me so happy.
Yeah. There's not too many great ones. So,
yep. All right, buddy. We're going to get out of here. Short one today. The Leafs are in Philadelphia Thursday night, and then they're back home against the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday night. We will be back on Sunday morning, bright and early, because we got some NFL playoff games we got to watch this weekend. So we need to make sure this pod is done, edited, and posted so we can sit down for 1 p.m. Bills at Jags on Sunday.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, Buffalo. Oof. That's
you
not
don't like
happy. It's not going to be a happy fan base. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't. Again, this is a Leaf show. We don't need to spend too much time on the Bills, but I like this is the year you've been waiting for. None of your boogeymen are there.
Other teams catch up. Like,
yes.
The Jags look like a fucking wagon right now.
Yeah.
They have 100 receivers. They have a quarterback who's finally unlocked potential. They have the best run-stop defense in the NFL. I know the Chiefs are gone, but then another team plops right back up and they take your spot.
Yeah. I got one more thing I got to say. Football related. My Green Bay Packers Super Bowl hopes died the day Micah Parsons blew his ACL in Denver. But let me tell you something. You get this win on Saturday night and you end this magical season for the Chicago Bears. I don't care if they go the next weekend and lose 68-0 to the Seahawks. I literally don't care. Get this win on Saturday night and end this Bears dream season. You can sit at home with your NFC North division winner shirts. Whoop-de-doo. And this season's a success in my eyes.
I would bet against the Packers if they were playing against any other, maybe not the Steelers, but basically bet against them against any other playoff team. I think they have the best matchup for them because they just own that team.
Yep.
I think the Bears are kind of not a serious football team either.
I'll either be signing in to talk to you on Sunday morning, really over the moon, or I'll be really dejected, one of the two. But either way, we will be back on Sunday morning. If you'd like to join us for that, hit the like and subscribe button below. If you're listening to the audio version, please do the same.
Spread the word, tell your friends.
We will see you guys on Sunday.